Hello everyone, I am here to give you a very brief basic overview of SchoolMessenger and how to send a broadcast out to a list or a group of students or whatever constituents that you want to put together. Just a heads up, we are only going to be using SchoolMessenger for a matter of months at this point. I'm currently working with Mr. Rohn on getting us some new software that we can use for district-wide messages. I don't have an exact time frame or even know the exact software that we're going to land on. We'll provide more training on new software when we acquire it, but for the time being, we're going to continue using SchoolMessenger. So I just wanted to give a brief overview on how exactly to send out a broadcast. When you click on the link to log into SchoolMessenger, you'll be greeted with this screen. Everybody's login is going to be, the username is going to be the first portion of your email address before the @ sign. It is not going to be your full email. If you try that, it won't let you in. It's going to be the first portion of your email before the @ sign. Some people, that's first name dot last name. Other people, it's first initial and then your last name. Just whatever it is for you, that's going to be your username. The password that you're going to enter to log in for the first time is CISD1234. That's lowercase CISD1234. It's incredibly secure. But once you get logged in for the first time, you can feel free to change that to whatever you like. That's just what I made everyone's temporary password. So when you put in your login information, you can click on sign in. And this will be the dashboard that you're greeted with. You will have kind of a summary of recent broadcasts that you've sent. You will have a list of active broadcasts that are currently out, and then ones that you've sent in the past. And then just some other stuff like a help section and support to email and everything if you need some help. The easiest way to go about this is to just click this big shiny orange button that says new broadcast to blast something out. But before you do that, you need to make sure that you have a list created. And like I mentioned earlier, lists are kind of groups of constituents. And you can get granular with the rules for that, so you can send specific messages out to specific people. I'm just going to do a very top level overview of how to create a very general list. And then I'll let you kind of play around with it when you get in there. So in order to create a list, you can go to Broadcasts up here. And the first tab here is Lists. I currently have no lists. On each of your accounts, I made you a list that you can start with, which is just your entire campus student list. And when you send out a broadcast, it's going to go to the contact information of those students, parent or guardian. So it's not getting, the lists are named, your campus's students, but it is not going to the students, it's going to the parents of those students, just to be clear. But let's say you want to make a new list, or for whatever reason yours does not work, you can click on Add New List up here, and it's going to bring you to the list editor. A list name is required, so I'll just go ahead and say NSE students, Northside students, right? You can add a description if you want, it's not required. And then this is where you pick your rules. This is how it knows, this is how SchoolMessenger knows what data to pull from, what names to pull in order to send this out to the right people. So it's sort of like filtering down your results. You click on to select your field, and you can pick any one of these fields to start with. Because this is just going to be a list for all Northside students, I'll click on School, and I'll say School is Northside Elementary. And you can select multiple. If you're an executive principal and you want to send something out to all, multiple campuses, you can select multiple for this. But I'm just going to select Northside Elementary, click on Add, and that rule is now added. And you'll see that we now have a total of 1,118 people that have been added to this list. This is including both students and staff. So if you want to narrow it down to just students, you can go select another field. You can say contact type is student, and leave staff unchecked and click add, and you'll notice that this list went down by about 100 constituents because it narrowed out the staff and it's just focused on the students at this point. Again, you can continue to keep going with this. This is where I'm going to stop with it, but feel free to get as granular as you like. We can click on done at the end of it here, and your list will now be created. So now you are free to email or send a blast out rather to all of the people that are on this list. And by the way, if you want to preview who's on this list, you can click on this preview option here, and it will give you a full name of all students or constituents that are part of that list. So I'm going to go back to dashboard, and then I am going to click on new broadcast to send out a broadcast. And it's going to give you a subject that is mandatory. You have to put in a subject. So I'm just going to do test broadcast. The type, typically you pretty much want to use every message as a general message, although if it is an emergency, you can designate it as an emergency blast out. I always just pick general. And then you're going to want to click on add message recipients and then go into saved recipient lists. And here's our list of students that we just created. So you're going to click on the check mark for that and then add recipients. And now this message is going to be going out to all Northside students. So then once you've clicked your recipients, and you can continue to add further lists of people that you want this to go out to, you can click on message content. And you have 4 options of messages here. You have phone call, email, SMS texts, and posts. I will tell you that you can do what you want. We're not going to put in any restrictions on what types of messages have to be sent in what ways. What I will tell you is that a lot of people, from what I've heard, don't seem to like getting phone calls. So I would maybe reserve that for like emergency situations and just send most of your general messaging out on email and text. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll just do email. But just be careful about that when you are doing a phone message. So when you click on email, you can change the from name. So it's going to automatically populate with your account information, whatever first and last name is on your account. I'm going to change this to say, Cleveland ISD. From email, I would highly suggest changing this. You can put in a fake email address if you want. Often I'll do no reply at clevelandisd.org. Because if you leave your actual from email in there, people can respond to it and it will flood your inbox. So just be careful of that. This email doesn't actually exist, but this will just, if you're sending a message that you don't want replies to, you just want to get the word out there, you can change it to whatever you like, but this is the one that I typically use. And then your subject is just going to be and again, you can change this to whatever you like, but it'll automatically populate with whatever title you chose for the original subject in there. And then this is where you put in your body. So this is where you put in whatever message that you want to get out to people. You can, because this is an email, so you have all of your email kind of typical options. You have images that you can insert, links, you can put in a table, things like that. Style it however you like. And then if you want to translate your message automatically using SchoolMessenger, you can click on translate and it will automatically translate your message to Spanish as well for those of our families that need translations. So you don't need to worry about Google Translate. It's built right into the software. So once you have your message built out and ready to go, you can click on save. And then your next option is to, number one, if you want this sent out through other channels, you can pick another channel and fill out the information in there. You can click on review and send. Make sure that everything looks okay. If you want an email of the report after you've sent it out, then it will send it to your email address, so you can do that if you want. Skip duplicate recipients. This is helpful for students who have siblings or whatever on your campus, just so parents don't get a bunch of messages, when they may only need to get one of them or something. So just keep that in mind. But when everything is good to go, you can click on send now. I'm not going to actually send this message to all NSE students, but I just wanted to show it for kind of a to give you a tutorial on how to send out a broadcast. And then when you do send it out, it will populate in your broadcast here. Again, I'm not going to actually send one out, but you will be able to check the status of it here and get an active summary of the types of broadcasts that you're sending out and everything like that, replies that you're getting. So that's just kind of a top level overview of SchoolMessenger. Play around with it, build out your lists and just be aware that we are going to be switching programs in the next few months. So this is just kind of for the time being if you need to send blast outs. And if for whatever reason you have any other questions or you would rather my department send out, help you out and send out a school messenger blast out, I'm happy to do that. So please just let me know. I'm here to help you. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, thank you. Have a good one.